because if you don't know what a book value is, it will affect you in terms of how you approach the question. So here we have the price of a new bus now. Okay, it will be replaced in 10 years' time. We are supposed to use the reducing balance method to calculate the annual depreciation rate. The book value is given. What is book value? It's grade 11, so I expect you to be aware of what book value is.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, it cost 125,325 and 44 cents, which means it would have lost its value. Okay, so the book value is the value of an asset, okay, at the end of its, or it's more like after taking into account depreciation. So it will be close to the end of its useful life, or when you want to get rid of it. All right. Now you have to distinguish between scrap value, which is the value of an asset when it's no longer in use, when you want to just to dispose it. So the book value is the value of an asset after taking depreciation into account. So this question here, 2.1, is actually a grade 11 question. All right. So let's list what we have. It's very important for you to list whatever information you are providing. So first thing, we are supposed to use the reduced. We know that for this question, we are going to use the formula A equal to P times 1 minus I raised to the power of A. So our A is going to be the the book value, which is 125,325 and 44 cents. Our P is the value of the bus now when it is brand new, okay, before depreciation. So that's 450,000 rand. Then our N, okay, our N is 10 years. Okay, so we need to calculate the depreciation rate. Alright, so if we substitute into the formula, so it will be 125,325,44 is equal to that 450,000. Okay, the 450,000 times 1 minus times 1 minus I raised to the power of 10. Okay, remember the objective is to get that I. Now that I, if I make it the subject, okay, it's going to be equal to 125,325,44 over 450,000. Okay, because I have to divide both sides. Alright? Then, right, if I take the square root, I need to take the cube root of this, take it to the other side. Right, I need to subtract 1 from this. Okay, I have to put 1 minus here. That will be the 10th root. So it will be I is equal to 1 minus the 10th root of 125,325 over 450,000. Right. So the first thing, I divided both sides by 450,000. Then I took the 10th root. On the right hand side, I was left with minus I. So if I take the minus I to the left and then take the 10th root of the square root, I'll end up getting that. So can someone calculate the answer for us quickly? What answer do you get? So the depreciation rate will be 12% per annum. So every year, the value of the car will decrease by 12%. 11 question. Right? Actually, grade 10. Rate of inflation. Okay. Now, we need to calculate the inflation rate, right? The estimated cost of replacing the bus in 10 years' time is that. Now, this amount, it's a future value. That's the value of buying a new bus, which costs 450,000 now. In 10 years' time, the same bus which is costing 450,000 now is going to cost 971,516 and 25 cents. The same bus. So we need to calculate what is the inflation rate. Okay? Now, if you remember very well, in grade 10, when you did inflation rate, we use the compound interest formula, the appreciation one. That one. That's the formula that we use for all calculations involving inflation rate. We use the compound interest formula. So our A is going to be the future value, which is 971,525 cents. The P value, that's the value of the bus now. Now it is very important for you to know your A, your P, and your N. Your N here is 10 years. So we need to calculate that I. So if I go to the next page, that will be 2.2. My A is my A is uh, my A is My A is 971,516,25. 971,516,25. Okay, I hope I wrote it nicely there. Let me just check. Okay, that's 971,516,25. Yeah. Okay, so that's my A. My P is the cost of the bus now. So that's the cost. Okay, our N is the number of years, that's 10 years. So we want to calculate I. So we say A is equal to P times 1 plus I raised to the power of N. We want to calculate N. So if I put 971,516,25 is equal to 450,000 times 1 plus I raised to the power of 10. Okay, like that. Now, always write your formula. Okay, the formula substitutes. That's very important. Write down your formula because it might be allocated a mark. Substitute because in most cases there's a mark for correct substitute. Alright? Then here I can simplify this. If I simplify it, I can write as I is going to be equal to the 10th root of 971,516,25 all over 450,000 all minus 1. So can someone simplify that quickly? We know if you look at 2.2, you have to be very careful here because you need to know your terminology, you need to know your concepts of financial maths because you can pick the wrong value. Usually the questions have got a connection. So in 2.2, we determine, in fact, we are told that this is the amount of a new bus in 10 years' time. Okay? All right? Now, this is the cost of the bus. So it's going to increase due to inflation. All right? Then in 2.1, we are told that this is the amount that the school is going to get if they sell the bus in 10 years' time. They are going to get 125,325.44 cents. All right? Now, what's going to happen is in 2.3 now, for them to create the sinking fund, they are going to sell the old bus. Okay? They will sell the old bus and they will get this amount. Okay? So the remainder is going to be the difference between this value and that value. That's the amount which is going to be put in the sinking fund. Okay? They are not going to save all of this money because they already have a bus which they can sell and get that. So the money that they are going to save is going to be the difference between this one and that one. Okay, it's common sense, right? If you already have an asset that you can sell and get some money out of it will be wiser to sell that old asset, then you can get some money, and then if you want to save, then you can see you're going to end up saving less. So that's what's going to happen. Was that old bus is going to be traded in. Okay, it's going to be traded in. By traded in, it means if it will lower the cost of buying the new asset because you already have another one which is old, but you can get some money or a percentage out of it when you sell it. So they'll trade in the old bus and get that. So 2.3, the future value is gonna be the difference between this one and that one. So we are going to move on to the next page. Okay? Let me do it here. So I'll say 2.3 future value. This is the future value in the sinking fund. It's going to be equal to 971,516,25 minus 125. Okay, it's minus 125, 325,44. 325,44. So, what will be the future value? Can you just calculate it for me? Okay, so that's 846,181. That's the amount which is going to be in the sinking fund if they want to buy a new bus. Okay, any question? Now says the school starts payment immediately into a sinking fund and continues paying until the end of the 10-year period. Calculate how much the school pays monthly into the sinking fund if they receive 9% per annum interest compounded monthly. All right? Now, one thing that you need to know before you go any further is that because we are talking about a sinking fund, that's a future value annuity. For this question, that's now the future value annuity. Okay, a sinking fund is an investment. A sinking fund is an investment. All right, so the amount we got in 2.3, that's the amount that's going to be equal to F. Okay, so our F is going to be equal to the amount in 2.3, that's the future value of F in the future value annuity. All right, our X. Okay, the question says calculate how much the school pays monthly. So our X is unknown. That's the one we want to find. Our N, okay, our N is 10 years, okay, but it says the payment starts immediately, which means T naught is included. So it's like this. So we are going to have 10 times 12, that's 120. So we have T 120 there, and that's T naught. So an X amount is put there. Okay? So this one is going to be 10 times 12 plus 1, which gives us 121. Okay? Be very careful with the N. Okay? Because the school will start making a payment immediately. It means T naught is included. Okay? So it will be 10 years. This is 10 years times the number of months because the interest is compounded monthly plus this one because T naught is included. Okay, our interest rate is 9% per annum compounded monthly, so 9% over 12, that's 0.09 over 12. Okay? Now, when you get here, it becomes easy. Now, why is it a future value annuity? Number one, because it involves saving. We have got a sinking fund. Number two, there is a monthly payment which is made for the duration of the time period. So those are the two key things in the question that will make the question a future value annuity. There's saving money because of the sinking fund. There's a monthly payment which is going to be made every month for 10 years. That's why it is a future value annuity. Okay, so we write our formula. F, always remember to write the formula down. Minus 1 all over I. So that's F. Okay, in this case, we want X. So I can make X the subject straight away. I can make X the subject straight away. So my X will be equal to, my X is going to be equal to Fi, my F is 846,190,81 times 0,09 over 12 all over all over all over 1 plus 0,09 over 12 raised to the power of 121 minus 1. So if you simplify that, what answer do you get? Teshin, just say it for me. What answer do you get?
4,318.
318 point what?
06. 06.
Like that. Okay, so it's 4,318 and 6 cents. All right, so that's it there. Okay, so from now on, you need to know that your questions that you are going to get on annuities, they are going to involve some grade 11 work, grade 10 work, together with your knowledge of annuities. And they involve real life situations in most cases. All right, so that's it there. Okay, this one here, it just involves one large amount which is going to be saved, or maybe you can have more than one amount which can be different amounts that you put in an account, like how we were doing it last year. Okay, you don't have to skip. Even you can skip some months, or you can put money which is different in terms of amount, in terms of value. With the future value annuity now, the amount which is deposited or paid into the account has to be the same throughout. Okay, but the moment you decide to stop paying, okay, all the total amount of money is going to be calculated together with the interest, and then from that point onwards, after the last payment, the total amount in that savings account will accumulate interest based on the compound interest formula, which is that. So these two have some kind of relationship. And you can make a mistake of using the first one when you are supposed to be using the second one. So you need to be very, very careful in terms of the question that you might have at hand. Okay, so let's move on to question 3. It says, Intando saves for a new scooter by depositing quarterly payments into an account that pays an interest rate of 12% per annum compounded quarterly. If he plans to save 50,000 in 5 years' time, calculate the amount that he must deposit each month if he starts his first payment in 3 months and makes his last payment 3 months before purchasing the scooter. Okay, so this question is not like your normal future value annuity, but it has got both this in it and that in it. So you need to take note of this. The interest the interest